All right, long-awaited package is here. Y'all know that we've been working on getting some fencing done, and the easiest way to do that is with a fencing stapler. And so first mystery was whether or not I could get staples in this country, which we found. Yes, now I needed a stapler. And to get the stapler that I wanted here was going to cost me way too much money. So a friend, Jake, was in the States, and I asked, hey, could you get that stapler for me? He said, absolutely. So he got me the stapler, and he brought it, and I finally have it here. It's in there somewhere. It looks like he sent a few other things as well. There was some yummy goodness. And there's some merchandise. I haven't actually looked this up, but I know they just had a really cool cow show, and stock panels and things like that. So I'm assuming that that's what the logo's from, but I don't actually know. And he said he sent some extra stuff. So there's some goodies in there for the kids. And then I don't know what we got in here.
Oh, it's a chain.
Yes, but why? And there's something in here. More speed. Ah, it's for gate latch. Very cool. Yep. So we just got home from town here. That's pretty cool. And what else we got? We got some magnets, looks like. Fridge magnet?
Mm-hmm. Oh no, it's an air freshener.
Oh, okay. Yep.
For the car.
Also very cool. Stapler should be in there.
Mm-hmm.
You unpack? I'll hold the camera. How's that sound?
I like unpacking stuff.
Yeah. That's quite the packing paper, isn't it?
If you looked at it, you're like, oh look, it's a skater.
It's a shoe, yeah, rollerblade.
Yeah, rollerblade.
Let's go rollerblading.
Or a boat.
I'm getting. I haven't done that in years, and I don't know if it would be too good of an idea.
Probably not.
The falls are harder when you're older, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure are.
Well, Jake, good job wrapping that.
Wowzers, that's nice.
That is interesting. It's a big beast. I've never actually had one of these in my hands. So this will actually put in a U-staple, like you'd use for fencing. So we'll demonstrate that as soon as I find some staples, because apparently the staples are not available here after all. Now I bought this and it was too late. I found out I can't get the staples. We found another way. My good friend Alexander has been hunting night and day, I think, to find me some staples. And so we found some. I should have my hands on them in the next week, and we'll know for sure whether they fit in this gun. And if they do, then we're off. Then we're golden. If not, we're back to hunting. But this will save just tons and tons of work.
This belongs with this summer.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how. Yeah, you're in the right way, because that's going to go in there. That's going to pop right in there. I suggest this goes in first. You get that curved part. It's going to pop in there. Snap that shut and pop into there. Yippers.
Doesn't pop, you have to like...
So I am a DeWalt fan. I already have a lot of DeWalt tools. I've of course already got the batteries, so I don't have to rebuy those. And batteries are a big part of the purchase. You're going to be out there fencing for me, I think. Mm-hmm. Now what else we got? We got ourselves a calendar. This year is about to be over, but there are some pretty cool cow pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Oh, I see.
Look at those beautiful Angus's upside down. But very nice. So big thank you to Jake for helping me out. Oh, isn't that cute? I miss my cows.
Mm-hmm. We had a cow with a...
We had a nice calf like that, yep.
So good looking. Oh, they're so...
Buzzball.
They are, they're so fuzzy.
Beautiful. Hopefully one day we'll have some Angus cows running here on the farm as well. Alright, I mentioned I had a lot of splatter issues on my welds in one of the last videos, and so many of you guys gave me great advice, which I should have known, because my old welder, I also swapped the polarity, and I did not do it on this one. I just never thought about it. So my old welder is a Lincoln, and it had it right here. Anyway, it had it right in here where you could swap the polarity. So I was looking and looking and looking, and a friend of mine has the exact same welder. That's why I bought this. So I asked him, and I thought maybe it's underneath the cover here. He says, no, you just swap these. So I had it in like this, and you just got to pull this out and switch it around. This is your positive and negatives. And basically what you want to do is put the positive on the ground now, and the wire feed will be on the negative instead. And that's supposed to greatly improve my splatter. So we will be welding with that later today. and hopefully improved. I got to weld the water line today, and hopefully this is going to make my welds look a little nicer. So thanks for the tips, guys. All right, while I was gone, Justin's been working away putting together a new and improved, well, we hope it's improved anyway, design on the chicken tractors that we built. And this is about 25% lighter, he figures. Right?
Yeah, that's the plan.
That's the plan.
Well, the timber part of it, obviously the tin's going to be...
That'll be about the same, yeah. True.
Working on it, we'll see how it goes.
See how it goes. Okay, see the full video on his channel. 82 Acres Farm. I gotta get back to welding. Now that I got the welder figured out here, I'm gonna set up to do the water line, which consists of this pipe. And I'm gonna be running that along the front here. As I've told you guys, for some reason I can't find pipe with threads on it, but they sell these little stubs. And so I'm gonna weld that on. And now that can be a trick to make sure that it's watertight. It's one thing to weld a stub on, but to make sure it doesn't leak is a bit of a different ball game. And you can't really test it until you put some pressure on it. So we're gonna give that a go today. Okay, as I said before, there is dimensions where this head rail needs to be for different cows. So I know the dimensions for a Holstein, I know dimensions for the Jersey, but I do not know it for a Yaroslav, which is in between. And so I want this to be adjustable anyways. I might have a younger cow there, and then I can tweak it over a bit for that one to give it different space. It's a matter of basically being comfortable when the cow's standing and their neck is rubbing on here while they're eating. So I'm gonna try, I'm debating either between the square one or a round one. This obviously is a nicer fit, but it's pretty snug. And after I get X amount together, I don't think I'll be able to move it anymore. So this would definitely be a lot more movable. And then I'll weld a round one to it where my pipe goes in. And then it's a matter of welding a nut on here and a bolt to tighten it, keep it from sliding when I don't want it to slide. We'll give that a go. The thing I'm doing, if you're ever in a pinch, I'm using this. It's a correction pen, basically just whiteout, but it works great for marking steel. So if you ever don't have the actual marker for it, this works excellent. Okay, I got these all drilled. So this is going to go on the bottom, and then I'm going to weld a round stub to the top of that. So what I need to do now, I'm going to weld a nut on it. I'm going to weld a nut. Now I realize these are lock nuts. They got a nylon washer inside them, which is going to melt it when I weld, but it's the only nut that I have and I don't feel like driving to town. So I'm going to weld that on there. And then this nut, or this bolt, I can screw in there and it'll come through and tighten down on this round pipe. So that when it's on there, I'll be able to tighten it up in such a way, I can tighten that up in there so that it can't move. And then I can set it where I want it and it'll stay. This way we'll be stopped by putting the round pipe on here that my water line will be stuck into, and sliding back and forth will be prevented by putting the bolt in. So I'm gonna go ahead and weld those on now. Okay, I just went on camera telling you how I fixed this problem. It's doing the same thing, look at all that splatter. But then I looked over and I realized that when I was showing you guys, I actually put it back in the holes it came from. So I didn't fix anything. This guy needs to go in the other one, and this guy needs to go in this one. So the good thing is I now have a chance to demonstrate whether or not this actually will make a difference. Alright, now we'll try again on another piece. Definitely a huge difference. Look at the splatter difference. Now I got maybe a hair more weld on this one than I do on that one. Okay, but you know, I tried to do something similar to give a good comparison. Look at the splatter on this one versus that one. Massive difference. Now I gotta play with my settings a little bit to get a cleaner weld. Now that I've got that part sorted out, I feel kind of stupid because I made a big mess on some of these, and I should have thought of that polarity. Like, that particular weld is not terrible, but yeah, just a lot of splatter, and I couldn't figure it out. Now I got to figure it out. So once again, thank you very much. We'll get the rest of these all taken care of, and then I'll show you the next step. The thing I highly recommend is getting one of these. It's a small kit. I had a much bigger one back in Canada. I'd never used all of it. The bigger though, you're just gonna have bigger sizes, so it is definitely handy. And basically what this does, if you're not familiar with it, this makes threads in a nut, in a geike, So because of welding, I've got a few spots now. I can't get this bolt in. So instead of cutting it off, throwing it away, all I need to do is clean out the threads that are in there. And that's what this is for. And one of these, this bolt, because there was stuff in the hole, I actually stripped the threads off the end of the bolt. Okay, so now I can throw this out, but I don't have to because I can clean it up with this and build new threads on it. So you got to take your time, go slow. These are very precise tools. You don't want to damage them and wreck them. Don't let the little kids play with them. But it is an educational moment. I can teach Finn how to do this job, right? Yeah, but they're not toys, okay? But it allows me to clean them all up. So you're just gonna go slowly back and forth, and it cuts new threads in to the nut, and this cuts new threads into a bolt. One day passes into another, and before you know it, I was going to say maybe time is over, but hopefully that doesn't happen soon. But anyway, days fade quickly. And it gets dark a lot earlier now. So it's a beautiful day again now. We got an enormous amount of rain yesterday. I guess God figured we needed a little bit more yet. Just poured. We actually had a farm visit again. We have that once in a while. People come visit the farm, want to see the animals and things like that. So that took up 2-3 hours of the afternoon yesterday for both families. So we didn't get quite as much done. Justin's still working on this. You can see that on his channel. And I'm still working on the water lines. I've got it all welded. I welded this together. And I had to do one touch up on it. Welding is definitely working much better now. I had to do one touch up on it. So right now, when we pressurize it by blowing it in, we can't hear any leaks. So the next stage here is I want to hook the water itself up. So I've picked up water line. This is going to be running up here, and we're going to be attaching. So this is plastic welded water line. To my knowledge, it's not in Canada. I've never seen it before coming here, but maybe it is. I don't know. PEX is very common where we're from. So I'm going to be running that up and hooking it up. We have water here in the corner now. As you can see, the floor is wet. It was on the other side of the wall, but it's finally hooked up today. And on that side as well, I got to hook it up. Essentially what we're going to do is go up there and come back this way so that I can circulate it if I need to. If we have some really cold weather, we could turn a circulating pump on to keep it from freezing. Keep in mind this is a steel pipe, and it has to be steel because the cows are tied to it. So it needs to be strong. I can't run this on plastic. But the downside to a steel pipe is that it can freeze more easily. So having the ability, I don't think it'll be that cold in here. It should be fine with 6 cows. It's not a large space, but just in case, I would like to have the option. And then on the far end, what I'm doing, well, this tap is going to be going in here. So essentially, what I'm going to do is put a T on here with a tap on the bottom. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. My hand's hiding half of it. And then I will be able to have a hose here to water animals over here. And that's kind of a temporary solution. Eventually, if this works successfully for us, I would like to milk more cows over here. And then of course this headrail will get extended. But for now, we're going to put the heifers in here and the sheep. And I need a way of watering them in the winter. So that's my plan here right now, is to have this with the hose. And then the top part of the T will go back up and run back to the milk house in order to allow it to circulate. So it should work, I think. Right? Maybe? Maybe? Beautiful day at least now. So much nicer with sunshine.
The Teflon plate.
Oh, yes. I think we have another roll. I'll have to go look.
We have 2 more.
We just don't know where they are.
No, I do. It's still nice.
Ah, that's where you forgot. I thought you meant you forgot it at the store. I see. Okay, well, we'll need to get it in order to hook this up. So that's what we're working on, and that's it. I don't think I have any other updates. That's it. That's all. Girls are at the market. Tomorrow we're going to try the fair. So it's, I guess it's a once-a-year thing. It sounds like it's a fundraiser because proceeds go to... Oh, I should know that. I gotta look it up. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, we were invited to participate there, and so we have a table as well, and we will be at the market tomorrow. And we'll see how that goes. We've never tried that in Nizhny Novgorod. I think probably be reasonably successful. The issue with Friday markets here locally is that on Fridays everybody works. So the market here locally is on Friday mornings. We set up around 6:30 in the morning and we're done by like lunchtime, basically 12:30, and I think the majority of people are working at that time. So you get a lot of pensioners, a lot of people that are from the cottage come out. But I think a Saturday market makes sense, and so I'm very curious to see how we'll do tomorrow in Nizhny Novgorod, in the city. It's a fairly large city, and it's a Saturday when no one's working. So we'll see how that goes. Changed my mind on this. The way I had it figured, it was going to come out too far, and then yeah, I don't know, if it sticks out too far, you get more risk of it running off. So I'm actually going to get a steel T, and then I think I can pretty much hook it up here and still come down for a hose with a steel T. I can just get that rather than coming out so far first. But other than that, that's kind of what we're aiming for. Comes along here, and then we've got a bit of fine tuning to do yet, of course. These still need to get welded together. This is how we're able to slide, right? And this will be welded to that. On this end, we also put a tap in, and now it's running into the milk house. So we're going to be building a solid wall here, and that'll be now in the warm area. So then now we can throw a circulating pump on that side. So. And then I've got these. So this is cool. I just love. I mean, Russia's got all this stuff. This is stuff that's harder to find in Canada, and here at my local hardware store has it. I think it's pretty cool. So what this is, it's got a rubber O-ring inside of there that goes in that groove on this side, and this will clamp to the pipe, creating a nice seal, and then we will drill a hole in it, and I have to add a hose, and that's essentially then going to go to this water bowl. So I'm going to be mounting these water bowls on. I've got 3 of them. They only had 1 of these in stock. They'll order 2 more. I'll have them next week. But that'll get us to 3 water bowls hooked up to this. Then we have water in the corner here now. It's just a matter of connecting the dots basically so that I have water for the cows. So pretty exciting to get it put together. It's the moment of truth. Get some water lines hooked up here. This here made me think of the fact that I'm going to get a couple of comments from people that say, that's going to freeze in the winter. You think? And which made me think I should make a video, or I buy a wood stove, and I set the wood stove in the middle of the field, and I get the chimney all hooked up, and I get the fire going in there, make it nice and warm, and then start building the building around it. Because there's always like 1 or 2 people that make silly comments. Yes, of course it's going to freeze, but you're not going to... What am I going to put a heater first, then insulate, then put the pipes in, and then build the shop? No, you build the shop first, and then, you know, there's a process to things. Anyway, we've been hauling pails of water for quite a while. We've had the lines in, just haven't had a chance to get them all hooked up. So now, it should be good. It is wet everywhere, just wet. It just keeps raining. Every day God gives us more rain. And I am not going to argue with the Almighty. If he figures we need more rain, then... well, by all means, let it rain. That's his business, and I will have to deal with it. But it is wet, and it is mucky. Our potatoes are sopping wet in the field. I'm worried they're going to start rotting. So hopefully we get some dry weather, because we need to harvest them. The ducks are happy. Geese are happy. They love this weather. And the rest of us will make do. All right, we got water here now. We fill this guy up. Or you did already? Oh, we can't even experiment with it. Anyway, we've got water here now for the pigs. We can fill up the pigs' dish, and we can fill up pails to bring to the calves. They also have lots of water. Happy calves. Hey guys, you're getting big. We got some new hay we just bought. It must be damp from up there, or is it coming out of the bale damp?
Mostly coming out of the building.
That's good? Yeah. So he's got 2 options for us for hay. This is option A, piles of leaf. It is a bit dusty though, so it may have been baled a little bit damp. So I'm going to try option B next. Loads of leaf in it though, so that's always nice to see. But I told him, well, we'll try one, then we'll try the other one. Got the straw from him too, really like it. It's wheat straw, very nice. Somebody asked me the price on wheat straw per ton here, or per kilo. I actually have no idea. I bought it by the bale. So this bale, well, it's obviously small now. That size straw bale, wheat straw bale, 1,000 rubles. And this hay, 1,300 rubles, 1,300 rubles. Now this is stuff that's been stored outside, which I don't mind for beef or for my calves. But for the dairy, I don't want that, because there is a layer of feed on the outside, of course, that's gotten wet and starts to spoil. And dairy cattle need the best of the best of the best. in order to perform the best. So we'll be buying better quality for them, but for these guys, for the pigs, for the calves, it'll be fine. All right, let's go. This is the main suspenseful part. I'm gonna go try the water in the dairy barn and see how many leaks I've got there. Remember, I've got the plastic pipe there, loads of elbows, transitions, and the main thing is the steel pipe that I welded together. You trying to trip me, dog? Hey? You trying to trip me? Yeah. Anyway, that's what I'm most concerned about, is the fact that steel pipe that I welded is gonna leak. Oh, I didn't even have the camera on. I hate it when I do that. Anyway, it's running good over there, running good there, but I do see there's a leak here. You can see where it's coming from?
Yeah, it's all
I
wet
think it's
in
the
there.
joint itself, or could it be my weld? No, it's coming right out of the joint. You're right, you can see it spraying there. Okay, so that's easy. That can just be tightened. Alright, this is a weld, and it's wet. Yeah, so there's a, we'll have to find it here. There's a leak somewhere in that well. That's dripping. And here we also have a leak. This leak, not from the weld is dry. A little bit coming out of the joint. And you got some coming out of there. So everything just needs to be snugged up here. There's loads of air pressure in there. Get the air out. Sometimes that also prevents the leak, because with the air in it, it actually creates a higher water pressure. And with the air out, it drops the pressure. All right, now, how much is leaking? That guy's still leaking over there. This guy probably is too. So we'll shut the water off. We'll give everything a tighten and a weld. Can you find the exact leak on that? It would be handy. Yeah. Hey? You can see it?
It's coming into that hole, I think. So you can see it running when I do it.
Yeah.
And I think there must be another one down here, because when I plug
Okay,
that...
well, we'll empty it and we'll weld one spot. And then we'll see. So, not terrible actually, I'm impressed. Two of the welded spots are alright. And a few tightenings. Other than that, everything's holding up. Pretty good, so we'll address that and come back to you. Big leak, look at all that water coming out.
Oh,
Big problem.
no. That's fixed.
Alright, as far as we can tell, this is all fixed. This one was able to do just by tightening everything up more. Thankfully, Justin had a pipe wrench. Thought we bought one too. If you don't know what a pipe wrench is, this is a pipe wrench. That's an adjustable wrench. You can adjust it. This is also adjustable, but it's called a pipe wrench. And I'm pretty sure I have one, but I can't find it. So, anyway, we borrowed that. That helped us tighten things up. I re-welded this spot that was leaking. The zoom is just not good. There we are. Re-welded that. Big thank you again to the guys who reminded me about the polarity swap in the welder. Massive difference. So as far as I can tell, there's nothing leaking there. It's still a little damp from before, but I don't think it's actually leaking. And then this one was also leaking, but it was leaking right out of the threaded part of the joint. And currently there does not seem to be anything leaking. This is all still water from before. I think we're good. So I mean, really, it's a matter of just leaving it for a while and finding out. Possibly, I don't know. We're gonna let it dry out because it's hard to tell. I think we got her, which is great. And like I said, now we have water here. It's gonna save a pile of time feeding animals. So next step, if this is successful, I gotta weld these collars, which are loose, onto these, which are also loose. Again, they have the bolt in the bottom so that it's adjustable. And yeah. Oh, then attach the water bowls. That's the next step I'm gonna do. Actually, I got 3 water bowls to put on here. Put those on. I've also, so some guys do it anyway. They have a divider between the cows so that this cow can't steal that cow's food. Yes, they do that. Humans are not the only selfish animals. Cows do it all the time. You'll feed this cow, well, you feed them all, but that cow will eat this cow's food first and then her own. Yeah. And so sometimes a divider is helpful. Now where the water bowl is, there already kind of be a divider. So it'll just be the other ones that I might build a little stub for. I'm not sure yet. But here for sure I'm going to do something because this cow's got all day to stand here and play with this valve and we don't want that. So I will have to close this piece in somehow. Probably just add something to this and come down just to protect this from the cow. Other than that, oh, and I get these fittings I showed you guys the other day. This thing. So I've got to install these now. And we'll be putting those in here. And then the water line will come off of the bottom of that to each water bowl. So I don't know yet if I'm going to run them on an angle maybe or straight down. I'm not 100% sure. I'll think about that.
As the leaves change color, I dive into you. When summer's fading, there's nothing to do but bask in the glory of the winter sun. Maybe this is the season of love. Beneath an endless night, the world spins around. You're there, ease my mind. Like stars that never die, you and I will shine during the darkest time.